Ma'am, this facility requires proof of membership. You clearly don't belong here. The words slice through the marble-walled silence of Manhattan's most exclusive spa like a blade. A black woman in understated jeans and cashmere looks up from her phone, where million-dollar decisions wait for her approval. Security is already walking toward her. The receptionist's smile is razor-sharp with contempt. The other customers whisper and point. The humiliation is designed to be public, brutal, unforgettable. What they see: an outsider who dared to enter their sanctuary. What they don't know: she owns every marble tile they're standing on. In exactly 12 minutes, one phone call will destroy careers, trigger federal investigations, and rebuild an entire corporate empire from its foundation. But first, she must endure 12 minutes of systematic degradation that will change everything. Have you ever been dismissed as powerless, only to prove them catastrophically wrong? Welcome to Beat Stories, where justice speaks louder than revenge. We share tales of brilliant minds who faced discrimination and transformed entire systems through intelligence, not anger. Because the most powerful victory isn't destroying your enemies, it's ensuring they can never hurt anyone else again. 11 minutes remaining. Adrienne Marshall sits in the reception area of Serenity Springs Spa, 47th floor, overlooking Central Park. The waiting room cost more to furnish than most people's annual salaries. Floor-to-ceiling windows frame Manhattan's skyline like a billion-dollar painting. She's reviewing revenue projections on her phone when the receptionist approaches. The woman's smile is practiced, professional, cold. "Excuse me, miss, are you lost?" Adrienne looks up. The receptionist's name tag reads Sarah McKenzie. Mid-20s, blonde highlights, the kind of confidence that comes from never being questioned. Mid-20s. "I have an appointment. Adrienne Marshall, 2 p.m. Sarah's fingers dance across her computer keyboard. Click, click, click. Each keystroke sounds like a judgment. "I don't see any appointment under that name." Sarah's voice carries across the marble space. Other patrons glance over. "And frankly, I'm not sure you understand our dress code requirements." Adrienne's dark jeans cost more than Sarah's monthly rent. Her cashmere sweater is custom-tailored. But Sarah sees denim and makes assumptions. "Perhaps you're thinking of the day spa on Fifth Avenue? They're more..." Sarah pauses, searching for the right word. "Accessible." The insult lands softly, wrapped in politeness. Adrienne's jaw tightens almost imperceptibly. A woman in a $3,000 robe leans toward her friend. Should someone call security? The whisper carries. It's meant to. 9 minutes remaining. The spa manager emerges from behind the reception desk. Richard Dalton, according to his nameplate. Mid-40s, graying temples. The kind of authority that comes from years of deciding who belongs and who doesn't. "Ma'am, I'm going to have to ask you to leave. We've had issues with people trying to use unauthorized access." Adrienne remains seated. Her voice is steady, controlled. "I'd like to speak with the spa director." "The spa director doesn't meet with unauthorized visitors." Richard's tone sharpens. "You have two choices. Leave voluntarily, or we'll have you escorted out." As Adrienne reaches for her phone, something glints in the overhead lighting. A platinum card, barely visible in her phone case. For just a moment, embossed letters catch the light. PayX Industries. The same logo discreetly placed on the spa's welcome materials. On the letterhead of the invoices Richard signs every month. On the paychecks that fund his mortgage. But Richard isn't looking at logos. He's looking at a problem that needs solving. "I understand your confusion," Adrienne says quietly. "But I believe there's been a misunderstanding." "The only misunderstanding," Richard replies, "is you thinking you belong here." The woman with the expensive robe pulls out her phone. Her fingers hover over the video button. This is about to become content. 7 minutes remaining. Adrienne's phone buzzes. A text message from a contact labeled legal. Emergency. The preview shows discrimination complaint received. Board meeting in. She silences the phone before the full message displays. But she's reading. Her expression doesn't change, but something shifts in her posture. The way she holds her shoulders. The angle of her head. Sarah leans closer to Richard. Should I call building security? Already did, Richard murmurs back. They're on their way up. Other patrons are staring now. Some with curiosity, others with judgment. The atmosphere in the waiting room has shifted. What started as a quiet afternoon at an exclusive spa has become a spectacle. A man in a business suit near the window shakes his head. This is exactly what's wrong with the world today. People trying to get into places they don't belong. Adrienne hears every word. She's cataloging every face, every comment, every witness to what's unfolding. The elevator chimes. 2 security guards step out. They're polite but firm, the way professional security handles situations that might escalate. I snap my... Ma'am, the first guard says, we're going to need you to come with us. Adrienne looks at the guard, then at Richard, then at Sarah. She's outnumbered, outpositioned, and apparently out of options. But she's not out of power. Not yet. She stands slowly, gathering her handbag and the leather portfolio with the embossed A. The portfolio that contains documents these people have never seen. Papers that would change everything if they knew what they were looking at. I'll leave, she says quietly, but I want everyone here to remember this moment. Sarah's voice follows her toward the elevator. Next time, maybe try somewhere more appropriate for your budget. The elevator doors close. Adrienne is alone now, descending 47 floors with the weight of humiliation and the power of knowledge. Her phone buzzes again. This time, she answers. Legal department. It's Adrienne. Execute the discrimination protocol. Full investigation. Immediate documentation. And prepare for emergency board review. Ma'am, are you certain this will trigger? I'm certain. And I want everything ready in 10 minutes. 5 minutes remaining. The elevator reaches the ground floor. Adrienne steps out, walks through the marble lobby, and exits onto the Manhattan sidewalk. She doesn't look back at the building. But she's far from finished with Serenity Springs Spa. 3 minutes remaining. Victoria doesn't go far. She crosses the street to a coffee shop with a clear view of the spa building's entrance. Through the floor-to-ceiling windows, she can see the 47th floor. The same windows where, moments ago, she was judged and dismissed. Her phone rings. The caller ID shows Board Chairman, Marcus Webb. Victoria, we've received the discrimination alert. Emergency protocols are active. Good. How quickly can you assemble the full board? They're already en route. Conference room A, 10 minutes. But Victoria, if this is about the spa incident, perhaps we should... Marcus, in my 15 years building this company, have I ever called an emergency board meeting without cause? Silence on the other end. Then, never. Then trust me now. This isn't just about one incident. It's about a pattern that's been documented for months. Victoria ends the call and opens her laptop. Her fingers move across the keyboard with practiced precision. She's accessing files that most people don't know exist. Meanwhile, 47 floors above. The spa's waiting room has returned to its artificial calm. Sarah straightens brochures that don't need straightening. Richard reviews appointment schedules that don't need reviewing. The woman in the expensive robe has put away her phone, the potential drama over. But phones are still out, hidden phones, recording phones. A young woman near the window posts to her Instagram story. Just witnessed the most uncomfortable situation at my spa. Management literally had security remove a black woman for not belonging. In 2025, I'm shaking. The post gets shared, and shared again. A man in the corner uploads a TikTok. Discrimination happening in real time at Manhattan's most exclusive spa. This is what systemic racism looks like. Within minutes, the hashtag Serenity Springs Spa is trending in New York. Back in the coffee shop, Victoria's laptop screen displays a dashboard that would make most CEOs envious. Real-time analytics, social media monitoring, legal compliance tracking. She watches as mentions of Serenity Springs Spa spike across all platforms. The social media storm is building, but Victoria isn't watching for vindication. She's watching for evidence. Her phone buzzes with a text from an unknown number. I was in the spa today. I recorded everything. This isn't right. How can I help? Then another. I witnessed what happened. I have video. This needs to be shared. And another. I'm a lawyer. What they did was illegal. I want to help. Victoria's assistant Jennifer calls. Victoria, the spa incident is going viral. Social media is exploding. Do you want me to prepare a statement? No statements yet. But I want you to save every post, every video, every comment. I want timestamps, usernames, everything. Already on it. Victoria, there's something else. The spa's customer service line is being flooded with calls. People are canceling memberships, demanding refunds. Their social media manager is having a meltdown. Victoria allows herself a small smile. Good. What's the latest count? 47 membership cancellations in the last hour. That's approximately $235,000 in lost annual revenue. The numbers matter. In business, everything is numbers. Back at the spa, Richard's phone hasn't stopped ringing. The caller ID shows corporate headquarters for the third time in 10 minutes. Richard, what the hell is happening over there? The voice on the other end belongs to Regional Director Patricia Holmes. Our social media mentions are through the roof and none of it is good. It was just a simple misunderstanding with a customer who didn't belong. Didn't belong? Richard, do you understand what you just said? Do you understand what that sounds like? Richard's confidence wavers. I was just following protocol. What protocol? Show me the protocol that says we judge customers by their appearance. Sarah approaches Richard's desk. Her face is pale. Sir, I think you need to see this. She holds up her phone. The screen shows a TikTok video with 50,000 views and climbing. The caption reads, Spa employee tells black customer to try somewhere more appropriate for your budget. Richard's voice is clearly audible in the video. So is Sarah's. Patricia, I need to call you back. No, Richard. Don't hang up. I'm on my way over there. Don't do anything, don't say anything, and don't let any more customers leave. But it's too late. The damage is spreading faster than they can contain it. 1 minute remaining. Victoria closes her laptop and checks her watch. She's given them exactly 12 minutes to show their true nature. 12 minutes to prove that the discrimination wasn't an isolated incident, but a systemic problem. Her phone displays 17 missed calls from the spa's main line. She doesn't answer. Instead, she opens her contacts and scrolls to Apex Industries Legal Department. Emergency line. The call connects immediately. Legal Department, this is David Chen. David, it's Victoria. I need you to listen carefully. In approximately 60 seconds, I'm going to walk into Conference Room A and present evidence of systematic discrimination at one of our subsidiary locations. Victoria, what subsidiary? What discrimination? The Serenity Springs Spa. And David? I need you to prepare immediate termination documents for management-level employees. I also need you to draft a comprehensive reform proposal. How comprehensive? Complete operational overhaul, new management structure, mandatory bias training, anonymous reporting systems, and a $2 million community outreach fund. Victoria, that's going to cost. I know exactly what it's going to cost. I also know what it's going to cost us if we don't act. Victoria stands up from her table in the coffee shop. Through the window, she can see the spa building. 47 floors up, people are probably panicking. They should be. Time's up. Victoria ends the call and walks toward the building. Her phone buzzes with one final text from an unknown number. I work at the spa. What happened today wasn't the first time. I have stories. I have proof. Please don't let this get swept under the rug. Victoria saves the number and responds. It won't. I promise. She enters the building and walks toward the executive elevator, the same elevator that 12 minutes ago carried her down in humiliation. Now it's carrying her up to deliver consequences. The elevator climbs past the 47th floor, past the spa where her reputation was attacked, past the place where she was told she didn't belong. It stops at the 52nd floor, executive level. The doors open to reveal a corridor lined with the portraits of Apex Industries board members. At the end of the hallway, a brass nameplate reads, Victoria Chen Williams, Chief Executive Officer. She walks past her own portrait toward Conference Room A, where 12 department heads are waiting for an explanation. They're about to get one. Victoria enters Conference Room A. 12 department heads sit around a mahogany table that cost more than most people's cars. The room overlooks Manhattan through floor-to-ceiling windows, the same skyline visible from the spa 47 floors below. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for responding so quickly to the emergency protocols. Heads turn, confused expressions. They're expecting an explanation about some subsidiary crisis. They're not expecting their CEO to walk in carrying a leather portfolio and the weight of personal humiliation. Victoria places her portfolio on the table. The embossed A catches the light from the crystal chandelier above. Before we begin, I want everyone to understand that what happens in this room today will determine whether Apex Industries continues to be a company we can be proud of or becomes a cautionary tale about corporate negligence. David Chen, head of legal, speaks first. Victoria, the discrimination alert mentioned Serenity Springs Spa. What exactly happened, Victoria interrupts, is that your CEO was subjected to systematic discrimination at one of our own properties, and it was recorded, and it's gone viral, and it's about to become the most expensive 12 minutes in this company's history. Silence. The kind of silence that occurs when powerful people realize they're about to witness something that changes everything. Victoria activates the room's presentation system. The main screen illuminates, displaying social media feeds in real time. Serenity Springs Spa is trending. The view counts are climbing by the second. 68,000 views on TikTok, 43,000 on Instagram, 15,000 shares on Twitter, all in the past 30 minutes. She clicks to the next screen. Financial projections. Current membership cancellations. 59. Lost annual revenue, $295,000. Projected additional losses based on viral trajectory, $1.2 million by end of week. Patricia Holmes, regional director, raises her hand tentatively. Victoria? I spoke with the spa manager 20 minutes ago. He mentioned a customer situation, but... A customer situation. Victoria's voice remains calm, but something dangerous underlies the words. Let me clarify what you mean by customer situation. She opens her phone and plays an audio recording. The voices are crystal clear. Ma'am, I need to see your membership card. This establishment has standards. I don't see any appointment under that name, and frankly, I'm not sure you understand our dress code requirements. Perhaps you're thinking of the day spa on Fifth Avenue? They're more accessible. The recording continues. Every word, every insult, every assumption. There. Patricia's face goes white. Around the table, 12 department heads realize they're listening to their CEO being humiliated by their own employees. The recording reaches Richard's voice. The spa director doesn't meet with unauthorized visitors. And Sarah's final, devastating comment. Next time, maybe try somewhere more appropriate for your budget. Now, Victoria stops the playback. The silence in the room is deafening. That customer situation was your CEO being told she didn't belong at a facility she owns, being escorted out by security, being told to find somewhere more appropriate for her budget. Marcus Webb, board chairman, speaks carefully. Victoria, this is clearly unacceptable. But surely this was an isolated incident by undertrained staff. Isolated? Victoria clicks to another screen. Display the pattern analysis, please. The screen shows a comprehensive data visualization, complaint records, customer service reports, social media sentiment analysis, all organized by date, location, and customer demographics. 23 documented discrimination complaints at Serenity Springs Spa in the past 18 months. 96% involved customers of color. 87% resulted in no disciplinary action. She clicks again. Employee testimonials appear on screen. Anonymous employee report filed 6 months ago. Management regularly makes comments about customers who don't fit the typical demographic. Staff are encouraged to be more selective about who gets premium treatment. Anonymous employee report filed 3 months ago. I was told to watch for customers who might be using unauthorized access. When I asked for clarification, my supervisor said, I would know them when I saw them. Click. Anonymous employee report filed 2 weeks ago. The spa manager instructed front desk staff to require additional verification from customers who don't look like they belong. Patricia's voice is barely a whisper. I never saw these reports because they were filed directly with corporate HR as hostile workplace complaints, which means, according to our employee handbook section 12.7, they should have triggered immediate investigation and management review. Victoria clicks to the next screen. Legal documentation. Civil Rights Act of 1964, Title II, prohibits discrimination in places of public accommodation. Maximum penalty per incident, $50,000. New York State Human Rights Law prohibits discrimination in public accommodations. Maximum penalty per incident, $100,000. Click. Class action liability assessment based on documented incidents and potential unreported cases, $12.8 million. The numbers hang in the air like a sword over everyone's career. But here's what really concerns me, Victoria continues. The discrimination I experienced today wasn't an accident. It wasn't undertrained staff making innocent mistakes. It was systematic, intentional, and institutional. She plays another audio recording, this one from security cameras inside the spa. Should someone call security? Already did. They're on their way up. This is exactly what's wrong with the world today. People trying to get into places they don't belong. Victoria stopped the recording. 3 separate customers made discriminatory statements. None were challenged by staff. This suggests a culture where bias is not just tolerated, but encouraged. David Chen clears his throat. Victoria, what are you recommending? I'm not recommending anything, David. I'm implementing immediate changes under emergency corporate governance protocols. She activates another screen. A comprehensive reform proposal appears, already drafted and legally reviewed. Effective immediately, complete management restructuring at Serenity Springs Spa. Richard Dalton, spa manager, terminated. Sarah McKinsey, receptionist, terminated. Current security team, reassigned pending retraining. Victoria, Patricia interrupts, Don't you think termination is extreme for what? For systematic discrimination? For creating a hostile environment? For costing this company potentially millions in legal liability and reputation damage? Victoria's voice remains level, but the power behind it is unmistakable. Patricia, let me ask you a direct question. Did you know about the discrimination complaints? There may have been some customer service issues that... Did you know that customers were being profiled based on appearance? Silence. Did you know that your spa was violating federal civil rights law? Patricia's silence is answer enough. Then you're part of the problem, and problems get solved. Victoria clicks to the final screen. A complete organizational chart for Serenity Springs Spa, with new names in every management position. Victoria points to the... Meet your new spa director, Keisha Washington. MBA from Wharton, 15 years in luxury hospitality and African American. Meet your new operations manager, Maria Santos, bilingual, 8 years at Four Seasons and Latina. Meet your new customer service director, James Kim, psychology degree, bias interruption certified and Korean American. She turns to face the room directly. This isn't about revenge. This is about accountability. This is about ensuring that what happened to me today never happens to any customer again. Marcus Webb leans forward. Victoria, these changes will cost $2 million in immediate implementation costs, $400,000 annually in enhanced training programs, $600,000 for the Community Outreach Fund. She pauses. Compare that to $12.8 million in potential class action liability. Compare that to the incalculable cost of becoming known as the company that tolerates discrimination. Victoria walks to the windows overlooking Manhattan. Somewhere below, 47 floors down, her former tormentors are probably panicking as their world collapses around them. Ladies and gentlemen, you have a choice. We implement these changes immediately, completely, and publicly. Or I shut down Serenity Springs Spa entirely, absorb the $47 million annual revenue loss, and explain to our shareholders why we chose to harbor discriminatory practices rather than fix them. She turns back to the room. Show of hands, all in favor of immediate reform implementation? 12 hands rise without hesitation. Motion carried. David, I want termination letters prepared within the hour. Patricia, you'll oversee the transition personally. And I want daily progress reports until this is completely resolved. Victoria gathers her portfolio. One more thing. The customer who was discriminated against today, she's considering legal action. I've advised her that probably won't be necessary, given our immediate and comprehensive response. She pauses at the door. Any questions? Silence. Good. Then let's rebuild a company we can all be proud of. 2 hours later, Victoria's assistant Jennifer knocks on the CEO's office door. The Serenity Springs team is here for the emergency meeting. Through the glass walls, Victoria can see them gathered in conference room B. Richard Dalton sits stiffly in his chair, still wearing his spa manager blazer. Sarah McKenzie keeps checking her phone, probably watching the social media storm continue to grow. Patricia Holmes paces near the windows, fielding phone calls from damage control specialists. Send them in, Victoria says quietly. They enter her office like defendants approaching a judge. The confidence they displayed 2 hours ago has evaporated completely. Victoria doesn't invite them to sit. Before we begin, I want you to understand something. This meeting is being recorded for legal documentation purposes. Anything you say can and will be used in potential legal proceedings. Richard finds his voice first. Ms. Chinwilliams, I had no idea you had no idea I was, what, Richard, the owner of the company? Or did you have no idea I was a human being deserving of basic respect? His mouth opens, then closes. No answer comes. Victoria activates the wall display. Social media metrics fill the screen. Let's review the current situation. Serenity Springs Spa has been shared 47,000 times in the past 2 hours. The video of our interaction has been viewed 230,000 times. She clicks to the next screen. Financial impact data. Current membership cancellations, 114. Lost annual revenue, $570,000. Projected losses, if this trend continues, $2.3 million. Sarah finally speaks. Miss Chen Williams, I was just following policy. Show me the policy, Sarah. Show me the written policy that says you should question customers based on their appearance. Silence. Show me the policy that says you should suggest customers go somewhere more appropriate for their budget. Sarah's face crumbles. There isn't a written policy. But Mr. Dalton always said. What did Mr. Dalton always say? Sarah glances at Richard, then back at Victoria. He said we needed to maintain a certain standard, that we should be careful about who we let use the facilities. And how exactly did you determine who met these standards? The question hangs in the air. Everyone knows the answer, but no one wants to say it aloud. Victoria clicks to another screen. Employee handbook excerpts appear. Section 4.2 of the Apex Industries Employee Handbook. All customers will be treated with equal respect and courtesy regardless of race, gender, age, appearance, or perceived economic status. She looks directly at Richard. Were you aware of this policy? Yes, but Section 701. Any employee found engaging in discriminatory behavior will face immediate disciplinary action, up to and including termination. Another click. Legal documentation appears. Richard, you've been with the company for 6 years. In that time, you've attended mandatory diversity training sessions, 4 of them. You've signed acknowledgement forms stating you understand our anti-discrimination policies. The documents show Richard's signature on each training completion certificate. Yet today, you personally ordered the removal of a customer based solely on her appearance. You authorized the use of security personnel to intimidate someone who was breaking no rules and violating no policies. Patricia steps forward. Victoria, surely we can resolve this internally. Richard is a good employee who made a mistake. Patricia, this wasn't a mistake. This was a deliberate act of discrimination, carried out with full knowledge of company policy and federal law. Victoria clicks to video footage from the spa's own security cameras. This is footage from your security system, time-stamped and authenticated. Let's watch it together. The video plays on the large screen. Every word, every gesture, every moment of the encounter is captured in high-definition clarity. They watch Richard approach Victoria with confidence and authority. They see him dismiss her appointment claim without proper verification. They witness him escalating the situation when de-escalation was possible. The video reaches Sarah's final comment. Next time, maybe try somewhere more appropriate for your budget. Victoria pauses the video. Sarah, I want you to explain to me what you meant by that statement. And I didn't mean anything specific. I was just suggesting. You were suggesting what exactly? That a woman carrying a $5,000 handbag couldn't afford spa services? That someone should choose a location based on her skin color rather than her preferences? Sarah's composure finally breaks completely. Tears stream down her face. I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize. You didn't realize that your words were discriminatory? Or you didn't realize I was your boss? The distinction is crucial, and everyone in the room understands it. Victoria clicks to the next screen. Termination documentation appears. Richard Dalton, your employment with Apex Industries is terminated effective immediately. Cause: violation of federal civil rights law, breach of company anti-discrimination policy, and creating liability exposure for the corporation. Richard's face goes white. You can't do this. I have a contract. Your contract, Section 12.4, states that termination for cause voids all severance and benefit considerations. Legal has already reviewed the documentation. The decision is final. She turns to Sarah. Sarah Mackenzie, your employment is similarly terminated. Same cause, same legal basis, same finality. Sarah collapses into a chair. Please. I need this job. I have student loans, rent. You should have considered those obligations before violating federal law and company policy. Victoria's voice remains calm, professional, and utterly unmoved by their distress. Patricia makes one final attempt. Victoria, these terminations seem harsh. Perhaps suspension, retraining. Patricia? Let me share something with you. The legal department has identified 23 documented discrimination incidents at this location in 18 months. Every incident followed the same pattern. Every incident went unpunished. She clicks to a new screen showing Patricia's own management reports. Your monthly reports to corporate consistently rated this location as exceeding expectations for customer service. You either knew about the discrimination and ignored it, or you were negligent in your oversight responsibilities. Patricia's mouth opens to protest, but Victoria continues. Either way, your position as regional director is under review. You have 48 hours to provide a comprehensive explanation for how systematic discrimination occurred under your management without your knowledge. The room falls silent except for Sarah's quiet sobbing. Victoria walks to her desk and picks up 2 sealed envelopes. Richard, Sarah, these contain your final paychecks and Cobra healthcare information. Security will escort you from the building. You're not to contact any current employees, customers, or vendors of Serenity Springs Spa. She hands them the envelopes. You're also prohibited from discussing this incident with media outlets. Violation of this directive will result in immediate legal action for breach of confidentiality and potential defamation claims. Richard finally finds his voice again. This is unfair. We were doing our jobs. Your job was to provide excellent customer service to all patrons, regardless of their appearance. Your job was to uphold company values and federal law. Your job was to create an inclusive, welcoming environment. Victoria's voice hardened slightly. Instead, you created a hostile environment that exposed this company to millions in legal liability. You violated the civil rights of customers. You turned a place of business into a platform for discrimination. She walks to the office door and opens it. Security is waiting to escort you out. Your personal belongings will be shipped to your home addresses within 48 hours. As Richard and Sarah walk toward the door, Victoria speaks one final time. I want you both to understand something. What happened today wasn't about power or revenge. It was about consequences. Actions have consequences. Discrimination has consequences. Violation of federal law has consequences. They stop at the door. In your next positions, remember this moment. Remember that every customer deserves respect. Remember that appearances can be deceiving. And remember that someone is always watching, always recording, always ready to hold you accountable. The door closes behind them. Patricia remains in the office, visibly shaken. Patricia, you have 48 hours to provide that explanation I mentioned. I also want a comprehensive audit of all locations under your management. If this pattern exists elsewhere, we need to know immediately. Patricia nods weakly and heads for the door. And Patricia? The next regional director meeting is next Friday. I suggest you prepare thoroughly. Victoria returns to her desk as the office empties. Through her windows, she can see Manhattan stretching endlessly in all directions. Somewhere in those buildings, in those offices, in those businesses, similar scenes of discrimination are probably playing out right now. But not here, not anymore. Not under her watch. Her phone buzzes with a text from Jennifer. The new spa management team is ready for orientation. The diversity training company is scheduled for next week, and the community outreach coordinator wants to schedule a meeting. Victoria types back. Perfect. Let's rebuild this the right way. 6 weeks later, Victoria walks through the entrance of Serenity Springs Spa. The same marble floors, the same floor-to-ceiling windows, the same elegant fixtures. But everything else has changed. Good afternoon, Ms. Chen Williams. Welcome to Serenity Springs. The voice belongs to Keisha Washington, the new spa director. Professional, warm, genuine. Her smile reaches her eyes in a way Sarah Mackenzie's never did. How are the first 6 weeks going, Keisha? Better than projected. Customer satisfaction scores have increased by 41%. Membership applications are up 67%. And we haven't had a single discrimination complaint. Victoria nods, reviewing the tablet Keisha hands her. The numbers tell a story of transformation. Customer demographics have shifted dramatically. Where the spa once served primarily white, affluent clientele, the current membership reflects Manhattan's actual diversity. 38% of new members are people of color. 22% are first-generation Americans. 15% are LGBTQ+ individuals who specifically cited the spa's new inclusive policies. Tell me about the Guardian Protocol implementation. Keisha's face lights up. It's been incredible. The anonymous reporting app has logged over 200 feedback submissions. 94% positive, 6% suggesting improvements. 0 discrimination reports. She pulls up the app on her phone. Customers can report positive experiences, suggest improvements, or flag concerns in real time. Every submission gets reviewed within 2 hours. Victoria examines the interface. Clean, simple, accessible in 6 languages. What about staff response? The bias interruption training has been transformative. Maria Santos led the customer service workshops personally. Staff learned to recognize unconscious bias, interrupt discriminatory thinking, and create inclusive experiences for every customer. They walk through the spa together. Victoria observes interactions between staff and customers. A young black woman receives the same attentive service as an older white gentleman. A Latina mother and daughter are treated with the same respect as a celebrity influencer. The numbers are impressive, but what I'm seeing is even better, Victoria says. In the relaxation lounge, Maria Santos approaches. Ms. Chen Williams, perfect timing. I wanted to show you something. She leads them to a wall display that wasn't there 6 weeks ago. Customer testimonials rotate on a digital screen. This place is completely changed. I feel welcome here now. Anonymous. The staff genuinely cares about every customer. It shows. Jennifer L. My daughter felt comfortable here for the first time, thank you. Patricia M. I've been coming here for years and the service has never been better. Michael R. Victoria reads each testimonial carefully. These are all from the past 6 weeks? All authentic, all verified, all voluntary, Maria confirms. Customers are sharing these experiences because they want to. They continue the tour. In the treatment rooms, Victoria notices new training certificates on the walls. Cultural competency and wellness services. Inclusive hospitality excellence. Bias-free customer engagement. James Kim, the new customer service director, joins them near the reception area. Ms. Chen Williams, I wanted to update you on the community outreach program. He opens a folder filled with photographs and documents. We've partnered with 3 local community centers to provide free wellness workshops. Last month, we served 437 community members. This month, we're projecting 650. Victoria examines the photos. Diverse groups learning stress management techniques, participating in wellness education, accessing services they couldn't otherwise afford. What's the financial impact? The $2 million community fund is being deployed strategically. 60% for direct community programming, 25% for scholarship programs at local colleges, 15% for small business development in underserved neighborhoods. Victoria nods approvingly. Return on investment? James smiles. Customer loyalty is increased by 53%. Word-of-mouth referrals are up 89%. Media coverage has generated an estimated $4.2 million in positive publicity. They reach the reception desk where the transformation is most visible. The staff reflects the diversity of the city they serve. Multiple languages flow naturally through conversations. Every customer receives the same warm, professional greeting. A young woman approaches the desk. She's dressed casually, jeans, sweater, simple jewelry. 6 weeks ago, her appearance might have triggered suspicion. Today, the receptionist greets her warmly. Good afternoon. How can I help you today? I'm interested in membership information. Absolutely. Let me get you some materials and connect you with one of our membership specialists. Victoria watches the interaction unfold. Respectful, professional, inclusive. The way it should have been from the beginning. Keisha notices Victoria's attention. Every staff member went through 40 hours of retraining. We rebuilt our service protocols from the ground up. What about resistance to the changes? Initially, some senior staff struggled with the new expectations. 3 chose to transfer to other locations. Everyone else adapted beautifully once they understood the vision. Victoria's phone buzzes with a message from Jennifer. Washington Post wants to interview you about the spa transformation. They're calling it a case study in corporate accountability. She types back, schedule it, full transparency. A customer approaches Victoria directly. An elderly black woman with kind eyes and a grateful expression. Excuse me, are you Miss Chen Williams? What do you expect from me? I am. I wanted to thank you personally. I've lived in this city for 78 years, and I've never felt welcome in a place like this. Today, I felt like I belonged. The woman's words carry weight that no financial metric can measure. That's exactly what we're working toward, Victoria replies. Every customer, every time. As they complete the tour, Victoria pulls up the spa's performance dashboard on her phone. The transformation is measurable in every category. Customer satisfaction, 94%, up from 73%. Employee retention, 97%, up from 61%. Membership diversity, 67% people of color, up from 23%. Revenue growth, 31% above projections. Social media sentiment, 91% positive. But the real measure of success isn't in the numbers, it's in the atmosphere. The sense of welcome that permeates every interaction. The inclusive culture that makes every customer feel valued. Keisha, I want you to document everything you've learned here. This transformation model needs to be implemented across all our hospitality properties. Already working on it, we're creating a comprehensive training program that can be adapted for any location. Victoria checks her watch. I have one more stop to make. She walks to the waiting area where 6 weeks ago she was humiliated and dismissed. The furniture is the same, but the energy is completely different. A plaque now hangs near the entrance. Excellence in service means excellence in respect. Every customer, every time, no exceptions. Victoria sits in the same chair where she was told she didn't belong. Today, she belongs completely. Not because she owns the place, but because the place has been rebuilt to welcome everyone. 6 months later, the Harvard Business School case study sits on Victoria's desk. The title reads, Leadership Through Crisis, the Chen Williams Model of Corporate Accountability. And we listen, she said. Her story has become required reading for MBA students studying crisis management and ethical leadership. But the real impact extends far beyond academic circles. 47 other luxury service businesses have implemented similar discrimination protocols, not from altruism, but from fear. fear of becoming the next viral example of systemic bias, fear of facing their own 12-minute reckoning. As many as made their way to the valet at around 11:30. Victoria's phone rings. The caller ID shows Governor's Office, New York. Miss Chen Williams, this is Governor Martinez. I wanted to personally thank you for your leadership on the Serenity Springs situation. Thank you, Governor. Though I'd hardly call accountability leadership. I'd call it responsibility. Well, your sense of responsibility is inspiring legislation. The Inclusive Service Standards Act passed the state Senate yesterday. It's being called the Serenity Springs Standard. Victoria smiles. Systemic change through systematic action. After ending the call, she opens her laptop to review the broader impact data. The numbers tell a story of transformation, rippling outward. Link: discrimination complaints at Apex Industries properties, down 93%. Employee diversity in management positions increased 67% across all subsidiaries. Customer satisfaction scores averaging 91% company-wide. Revenue from diverse customer segments up 42% year-over-year. But the most meaningful metric isn't financial. It's personal. Victoria's assistant Jennifer enters with a stack of letters. The monthly customer feedback arrived. Victoria opens the first letter, handwritten on personal stationery. Dear Ms. Chen Williams, I'm a 73-year-old woman who stopped going to nice places because I was tired of being made to feel unwelcome. Your spa gave me back my dignity. Thank you. The second letter comes from a young professional. I bring clients to Serenity Springs now because I know they'll be treated with respect regardless of their background. You've created something special. A third letter, from a teenager. My mom took me to your spa for my 16th birthday. It was the first time I felt like I belonged in a fancy place. I want to work in hospitality now because I want to make other people feel that way. Victoria reads each letter carefully. These aren't customers. They're people whose lives were touched by the decision to choose accountability over comfort. Her phone buzzes with a text from Keisha. CNN wants to feature our transformation in their documentary about corporate responsibility. Should I schedule? Victoria types back. Yes, full access. Let them see everything. The documentary will air next month. It will show the before and after, the discrimination and the transformation, the crisis and the response. But more importantly, it will show other business leaders that change is possible, that accountability is profitable, that doing the right thing isn't just morally correct, it's strategically smart. Victoria's final meeting of the day is with her board of directors. The quarterly report shows record profits across all divisions. The Serenity Springs transformation didn't cost money. It made money. Ladies and gentlemen, she addresses the board, 6 months ago, we faced a choice. We could have covered up the discrimination, minimized the damage, and hoped it would go away. She clicks to the final slide of her presentation. Instead, we chose accountability. We chose transparency. We chose to rebuild rather than repair. The slide shows a simple comparison. Projected cost of cover-up and legal settlements, $12,800,000, 0 cents. Actual cost of transformation and reform, $3,200,000, 0 cents. Additional revenue generated by inclusive practices, $15,700,000, 0 cents. Doing the right thing wasn't just the right thing to do, it was the smart thing to do. Victoria closes her laptop and looks around the room at faces that represent power, influence, and decision-making authority across multiple industries. I want to leave you with a challenge. Don't wait for your 12-minute moment. Don't wait for the viral video, the discrimination complaint, or the social media storm. She stands and walks to the windows overlooking Manhattan. Look at your businesses. Look at your policies. Look at your culture. Ask yourself, if someone recorded 12 minutes of customer interactions at your establishment, would you be proud of what the world would see? Victoria turns back to the room. Because someone is always watching, someone is always recording, and someone is always ready to hold you accountable. She pauses. The question is, will you be ready for them? The end. Your turn to create change. Have you witnessed discrimination in service settings? Share your story in the comments below. Your voice matters, and here at Beat Stories, we believe every voice deserves to be heard. Have you seen businesses transform their practices for the better? Share this video to show others that change is possible. That's what Beat Stories is all about, showing how people beat the odds and beat injustice. Want to see more stories of accountability and transformation? Subscribe to Beat Stories and hit the notification bell. We're dedicated to bringing you real stories of people who refuse to accept defeat. Because every story of someone standing up to injustice makes the next person a little braver. Every example of a business choosing inclusion over exclusion makes the next decision a little easier. And every voice that speaks up makes the world a little more just. Share your experiences. Amplify the message. Subscribe to Beat Stories for more inspiring transformations. Change happens when we decide it's time to stop accepting what's unacceptable. This is Beat Stories, where every ending is just a new beginning.